Hey, in this video, I just want to talk a bit about bone. Now, we think of bone, we think of it as just one big solid object, but there's actually two main types of bone that we have. And it's the same material, but it's how I organize it. So when we look at the outside of a bone, we can see this is really hard, continuous material. And this is what we call compact bone. And compact bone is on the outside of the bone. But there's a second type. And if I zoom in here, you can see, now unfortunately, this is a real human bone. And this goes back many decades, this bone. And unfortunately, it's been chipped in the past. But what that's allowed us to do is to actually look inside and see the spongy bone. So we can see spongy bone there, spongy bone there, and down here at the bottom, we can also see a bit of spongy bone within there. So is spongy bone everywhere? No, spongy bone tends to be towards the ends, the two ends. And what does it look like? Well, it looks quite different. Let me bring in this model. And this is spongy bone. You can see this is really bone material right here. And these we call trabeculae. And they form these little shelves of material. Now, the nice thing is that this gives us a fair amount of strength, but it reduces the weight, and there's an even more important function, and that is these spaces here are not just empty. This is where I have red bone marrow, and of course red bone marrow is where I'm going to produce red blood cells. So two types of bone. We have the outer compact bone, the tougher outer compact bone, but you can see inside we have the spongy bone, and the spongy bone lives up to its name. And it's really helpful that we have both spongy bone and compact bone, because together they need us, they work together to give us what we need for a functional skeleton.